Welcome kindreds, it's Jessica, and in this video I'm going to show you two gorgeous planners. I've got the Earth Pathways Diary and the Wee Moon, both for 2023. This is actually a part 2 video. You may have seen part 1 where I showed the Honeycomb Planner, which is a completely personalised astrological almanac, which has all your transits and everything in there. So yeah, I'm not going to show that today, but I showed that in the other video. I'll try and remember to link that. I also showed you the Country Wisdom and Folklore Diary, which is a really quirky and beautiful diary. And I also gave you a little sneak peek at the Country Wisdom and Folklore Almanac. A few people have been asking about an almanac video, so I might potentially do one of those as well. I showed you the Flickering Cauldron and Moon Diary, which is nice, although it has been brought to my attention that some of the astrological information is not actually accurate. So if you do have this diary, as in like they're saying things are happening at certain times when they're not, so yeah, specifically the retrogrades, but I haven't gone through to check everything else, like what times and days and everything they're saying the ingresses and stuff are. So if you did get that diary, just check that. And I also showed this beauty, which is the Ritual Planner, which is like a kind of mainly tarot, but also like a tarot and astrology planner, which I'm super excited to get started with. I've got the 2023 one, so I'm not going to be starting until January. Well, a little bit before, because you get to do like a year ahead spread and everything, so I will be starting soonish. So today I'm going to be showing you these two. I've got the Earth Pathways Diary, which is Earth Pathways is like an independent UK based co-op who create this diary every year. They've been doing it for quite a long time now, probably coming up to 20 years, maybe not quite as long as the Wee Moon. They put a lot of money back into their community and to like projects like planting trees and things like that, so it's really lovely. I'm going to show you what's inside there. And then the Wee Moon is a US based, again, like a social enterprise kind of collective group of people who put this together. And this has been going for a really long time now. I think like sort of 24 years, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. But I'm going to show you what is in here. So I've been waiting for this. This has only just arrived, which is why I didn't include it, as well as the fact that it would have been like a 3-hour-long video if I'd done it with the other planners and calendars and everything as well. But this has only just arrived. This has been here a little while, and I kind of feel like they're almost sort of like, this is the kind of US version, and not version, but like this is a kind of US equivalent, I guess, to this one being more like the UK equivalent. They've got quite similar information and stuff in them, but there are some differences too. So I'm going to show you the Earth Pathways first. Let's just put that to one side for a second. So the Earth Pathways 2023, that artwork is just gorgeous, isn't it? It's same as what's on the calendar as well. I showed the calendar last week. Inspiring our connection to the land. And let me just show you the back. So the Earth Pathways Diary celebrates the work of artists and writers. So like the Wee Moon, they ask for people to send in, and the deadline will have passed for next year's diary after I share this, because it's Samhain, Halloween is the deadline for getting in your artwork, but you could put it in for the following year if you like to. So it's good to have a look at that. It tells you it includes UK sunrise and sunset times, moonrise and moonset times. It's also got the moon phases and it says some astrological information, but there is quite a bit of astrological information in here. So if you are looking for a kind of astro/moon diary, this is a lovely option. So yeah, published by the Earth Pathways Cooperative. Tells you a little bit about the website. What's especially important is that if you buy direct from them, from their website, then they will make more profit. You can buy it from other sellers like Book Depository and Amazon and stuff like that, but obviously they take a cut then as well. So yeah, dedicated to all those who care about our beautiful earth and choose to be open to positive change and the path of the heart. Beautiful. So it's got a dedication page, a blessing page. I'm not going to read every single page, I promise. I'll just flick through, but I wanted to show you like these kind of more introductory pages because it kind of sets it up. Then obviously once we get into the calendar pages themselves, I will, I'll flick through a little bit quicker. So it tells you a little bit about Earth Pathways and what they're all about and everything, which is really nice. They do have quite a lot of social media. Their newsletter is also lovely as well. They send like I think it's only once a month, or maybe even less than that, like on the Sabbats and quarter days, cross quarter days and things like that. But it's a lovely letter, you know, with lots of information, often like pointing out something about the artist, about the time and everything. So yeah, even if you don't get the diary, it's well worth signing up to their newsletter, and then obviously you'll know it when things are coming out as well, because this is not their only product. They've got a calendar as well. They've got, oh hang on, let me just grab that. They also sent me this beautiful tree journal. So they've got some other things on this side as well. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet, because this is really lovely. Look at it, it's a hardback, and like kind of like a matte hardback. Roots and shoots. This is your quiet space, a space to root new ideas, new ways of being and understanding. A space for nurturing your new shoots and nourishing all that matters to you. May the wisdom of the trees guide you on your way. So yeah, it's just gorgeous. And it's got information about the trees, and then it's basically like kind of like a notebook. So I've been like, I wonder what I'm going to do with this. So it's birch, and there's got a few pages of that, and then I probably won't find the next one now, line. I'll just do a quick flick so we can see, so you can see willow. So it's basically going through the trees, the tree calendar, but with lots of empty space as well. So it would be really nice for kind of like a perpetual journal. I was thinking maybe to keep my field notes in here. Isn't it lovely? Alder. Yeah. So I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with this yet, but it's going to be, it feels really special, so I want to do something special with it. So yeah, they sent me that too, and they do have a few other things as well, but you know, it's mainly is the diary. That is their kind of their main thing that they do, and they're very conscious of protecting the planet, you know, of like, because of our connection with Mother Earth, you know, which is really lovely. So they got the seed fund, which they donate, and it tells you, like, you know, I won't go through it all now, but it gives you all the information of where they donate money to and things like that. So how to actually use the diary. It tells you about the phases of the moon as you see them in the sky. It gives you some astrological glyphs and things like that. So it's just, you know, how to use it. Again, look at the gorgeous, like, it's quite bright and colourful. It's very similar to the wee moon, I think, which is why it kind of reminds me of that. When I first saw this diary, and like, it's evolved over the years that I've been getting it, but when I first saw it, I was so happy, because it's like I'd been getting the wee moon before, and I had to keep working out the times of the moons and things like that, because I'm in the UK, I'm in Wales, and the wee moon is in, I think it's in PST, or we'll see in a moment when we look at it. But now, when I first got this, I was like, woohoo, I don't have to do any of that calculating anymore, because it was in my correct time zone. So if you're in the UK, I think this is such a nice choice for a moon diary. So a little bit, like, obviously only a little bit about the moon through the signs, but their astrology information is good in here. It tells you about the phases, retrograde planets, void of course, festival pages. So, you know, there are festival pages as we go through the diary. Numerology for 2023, because it's 2023, which equals a 7 year, so it's a 7 vibration. Interesting. yeah. And it talks about Pluto retrograde there, and then we go into the diary pages. It starts on the 26th, so we're starting just after Yule, basically, and taking us into, that is right, isn't it? It doesn't start on the 21st. It usually starts around the 21st, but that's probably where it, just what made sense with the thing. And look, it's got these really pretty little, and different artists do these each year, so they're a little bit different each time, which is really nice as well. The font's cute as well. So as you can see, for the days kind of follow this format. There's a whole week on one page. It gives you the date, and then on the other side, it's got the moon phase, like represented with the glyph, so you can see really straight away what it is. It's also got the moon sign, which is really cool. When the moon is changing signs, it gives you a little arrow and tells you what time the change is happening. If there's void of course, it shows that too. And then you've got the moonrise, moonset, I believe. Yes, moonrise, moonset, because sunrise and sunset is up here at the top of the page, and it's showing you like the main planet there, the main sign that we're in at the present moment. So the sun is in Capricorn there. So these are the sun things, and then these are the moon things. Although it does also show you, like here, Mercury's going retrograde on the 29th. It tells you what time. Yeah, it's got holidays as well if you're in the UK, so it's got like New Year's Day, Boxing Day and things like that on there too, and Christmas Day obviously, but that was before. And then that is the pattern that it generally takes. So usually there's some sort of like inspirational writing, which I love. I like to read it as I go through the year. I keep this with my like morning practice, and then I read through what's here, and then afterwards then I'll use these in like journaling, collage and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really nice. Look at that, wow, that is so cool. A phoenix. So yeah, art on this page, and then the actual dates on this side. So it's nice, it's a nice balance of stuff, and it's quite different as you go through because it's different contributors, different artists, sometimes photographers, sometimes you know, different art mediums and things like that. So yeah, you've got a poem there, and they're obviously chosen to fit with the season as well, so you can see. And like here, the sun is moving from Capricorn into Aquarius during this week. It shows you exactly where that happens. Here the sun is moving into Aquarius here on Friday at 8:29. So you know, you've got a lot, even though it's not cluttered, and you can still like write appointments and things on here. You've got a lot of information just right there, and you know, like I said, in the UK time zone. So I won't flip through every single page of the diary, but I just want to kind of show you so you get a feel of it. So here, look, because we're coming to Imbolc, the page on this side is dedicated to that. So we'll go through, and then oh, that is gorgeous. Who's that? By Tracy Dovey. Yeah, I love that. Wow. And I quite often will look up people's art that I see, and they do have like a website where they feature all the different creators. So, oh wow, look at that, courting amongst the snowdrops. That's beautiful. Yeah, so you know, I'll just flick through so you get like a flavour for some of the art. And like I say, it's very, you know, some of it's very colourful, some of it's more muted, some of it's photography. So spring equinox here, because we've got to that. And you can see the imagery is getting more kind of like springy. Yeah, lovely. Lots of greens and yellows in the spring. And then we've got Beltane. And it should get more, oh, look at that. More summery now as we move towards the solstice. Yeah, lovely. Some solstice. So yeah, it gives you like obviously just that page of info, but this is really nice to like put into if you've got like another book that you use. Once the days are gone, I definitely pull these things out and use them. And you'll probably have noticed that at the top, that has like changed as well as we go through the seasons. So now we're getting into the summer season, and it's just really like little details like that is a really lovely, really nice attention to detail. And like, it's different from last year. They had it down, I think, was that last year or was that the year before? It's down the side of the page. But yeah, really lovely. And now we're getting to harvest time, so we're moving more into the reds, and it's getting a little bit more orangey. Yeah, it's lovely, really nicely made. And like with the spiral bound, it helps it to lie flat as well, which is nice if you're using it on a desk. And also, you know, you can fold it so you can use it. I find I use these readings quite a lot in like circle and stuff as well, if I'm taking part in things. Yeah, nice. I know I say this every time, but it just feels like time traveling. Like I'm in October/November 2023 now, and that's, oh wow, look at that. In the mountain and the sea. I love that. Yeah, so many beautiful, beautiful pictures in here. This year, wow. And we're to the winter solstice, so we've gone almost a year. And then yeah, so this is the back matter, so let me turn it around. These I find really handy as well, really good, because you've got like the whole month at glance. It doesn't show you on here the sign that the moon is in, which is the only reason like that it's not quite as useful as some of the others that show you the sign, but it depends what you want, doesn't it? It gives you a whole month at a glance. It's really good for writing like future events, and if you're like planning in appointments and things like that. And also it shows you all the moon phases, so you can see straight away where's the new moon this month, where's the full moon this month, you know, and you've got it there. And they're just like marbled ink backgrounds this time, which is cute. Yeah, nice. Yeah, and these mini calendars are nice as well. Like, you can take them out and use them for other things as well then, you know, put them into journals. Although obviously they are double-sided, so you have to kind of bear that in mind. And then 2024, for if you're really planning in advance. Winter, spring, summer 2024, basically all of 2024. So you can put things like birthdays and, you know, things you already know about if you're that organised into there. And then we've got the pages of all the contributors. And look how many are here, which is lovely. You know, lots of people have been involved in the weaving of this gorgeous diary. So many. It's nice. And like I said, it's cool to follow the threads of that and find people. And then we've got just some notes pages at the back, which are always like these little pictures, not these little pictures, but you know, there's little pictures and then like a kind of faded version, so you can make your notes on here, which is nice. You can even, like, I've sometimes taken these and like use them as notes to send to people as well. Oh, okay, and they've got this little thing here, this is new. Please tear out and use as a spacer between the diary pages if you wish. Okay. And then it tells you about how to submit and things like that. So yeah, really nice. So that is the Earth Pathways diary. Let me know what you think. I know some of you have already bought it because you know that it's really good. So let's have a look at the Wee Moon. So the Wee Moon is a little bit thicker. How can I show you that? It's hard to show you. It's probably about, like, I don't know, half a centimetre thicker, but it's a little bit sort of smaller. It's a slightly different format, so it's like kind of shorter and fatter. Yeah, like that. Again, spiral bound. And this one is more from the perspective specifically like women. That was what, like, that's the kind of ethos behind the diary in the first place. It's very kind of like goddess based, which is one of the things I loved about it when I first saw it. Again, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. You know, nothing like that existed when Wee Moon came out. They were like the first that I saw that was creating anything like this. So every year it's called something. Oh wow, it says the 42nd edition of Wee Moon, but there's no way it's been going for 42 years, surely. That's almost as old as me. But maybe it has. Maybe I just didn't find it till later on, because obviously it is a US based thing. So yeah, silver lining is the theme for this year, silver lining. Because they were working through all of the different tarot cards as well. So they finished that now and we're on to obviously something completely different. So Year at a Glance 2023 with the full moons and new moons on here as well, and like a nice image here. Tells you a little tiny bit about Mother Tongue Ink, which is and also order directly. They make more money if you order directly from them than if you buy from Amazon and things like that. Some notes on the cover. A dedication, as again, so it tells you about who they are giving money to, who they are, you know, their values, I guess, as a company. So like, can you see what I mean about these kind of being almost like, they're just similar in that they are both very rooted and just, I'm searching for the words today, they're not coming to me, very like, meaningful, I guess, you know, very meaningful and useful in that they are doing real things in the community. Yes, they're making a beautiful product, which is, you know, beautiful to use and inspiring, but they're also using money created from that project then to help, you know, other people, which is just, you know, that's lovely, isn't it? That's a win-win, which is rare, you know, in this day and age. So what is Wee Moon? A handbook in natural cycles. So it tells you a little bit about how it is. You know, again, it is an astrology diary, not super detailed astrology like in the Honeycomb, but it has got a lot of astrological information in here. I would say more than in the Earth Pathways. So yeah, so maybe it's kind of like a morph between the Earth Pathways and the Astro Moon Diary, which I didn't get this year, so I didn't show that. Let me show you one from last year, well this year, but not for 2023. This has got like a lot of astrological information in it, but it's not the same kind of like Earth-based kind of vibe as these are, but let me know what you think anyway. Am I like losing the plot drawing that comparison? So eclipses, Mercury retrograde, a sky map, which I love this. It's like the whole year in one sky map. So you can see like what all the planets are doing. There's Uranus there and you can see where it's going. You know, it's still in Taurus for a good couple of years still yet. We've got Pluto, you know, even some of the asteroids are on here as well. Yeah, I think it's really helpful diagram to have it like that. And then they have different things in the start of each wee moon, so you never quite know exactly what it's going to be. So this one is about exploring past lives to resolve present life challenges, and so it gives you like something that you can work on, like a kind of practical thing that you can work on, that you can think about this year. And then a year at a glance introduction. Pluto enters Aquarius because that's a big change, because Pluto moves so slowly, you know, so it takes a really, really long time for Pluto to change different signs. So that gives an information about that big deal that is happening. Was there something, I feel like there was, maybe there wasn't in here. It's like this is more like solar and lunar and not so much the other planets really. Yeah, I don't think it did. Oh yeah, Pluto retrograde. And then heralds its entry into Aquarius. So yeah, there was a little bit of information about that in here too. And then, oh wow, yeah, the vision bearers. Dream seeds. So I don't even really know what that is. I need to read. I need to read that. The year of the rabbit. So a bit of Chinese New Year, Chinese mythology coming in there as well. And then this explains about how they approach the holy days. And then they've got the Wheel of the Year holy days with the different... that's what they do in here as well, which is quite fun and like good, is that they use different languages. I'll show you that when we get into the actual calendar itself. Hope in the fives. Okay, so I wonder why we're doing fives. Maybe because of the 23, so we're getting onto fives. And then introduction to it being the silver lining. So this normally tells you a little bit about the theme of the diary and why they've chosen that for this year, that kind of thing. And then yeah, they have these like introduction pages to each one, and it goes with the moon. So moon 1, December 23rd to January 21st, and it tells you it's the Capricorn, and the sun's in Capricorn and the new moon's in Capricorn on December the 25th. So that is the 25th? 23rd, yeah. I mean, I just read that wrong. I need to put my glasses on. So yeah, 23rd is where it's going from. So this is like very typical then of how it is laid out. There's always these like small pictures, and it's not the whole week on one page. It is the week and then the weekend, and then there's like art, or in fact that's very plain for usually for the wee moon. So I'll be interested to see if they, like normally this is colour and then there's like writing and stuff on here as well. So time zone wise, okay, so all aspects are in Pacific Standard Time, yeah. So in PST, it tells you add 3 hours for EST and add 8 hours for GMT. So if you're in a different time zone than PST, you need to do some math. It's not complicated, you do get used to it, especially if you're like always making that calculation on, then it makes it a lot easier. Tells you that when the sun is ingressing into new signs, and then each day, so you've got a larger moon here showing you the actual moon phase, so you can see like the moon is waning here to new moon here on the Friday, and then you've got the glyph for the sign that the moon is in here, and it tells you in these little bits of information the kind of like major aspects. So that's what I mean about having a little bit more astrological information in here than it is in the Earth Pathways. So it's telling you that Venus is squaring Chiron. I should definitely put my glasses on. Yeah, Venus in conjunct Mars, Venus sextile Chiron, you know, so it's telling you the different aspects, the mundane aspects, the aspects that are happening for everyone, you know, what's actually going on in the sky right now, not how it relates to your birth chart. If you want something that like relates specifically to your birth chart, you're going to need something like the honeycomb, or you do that work yourself. You sort of look at where the planets are and then you relate it back to your birth chart, you know. Okay, so yeah, like on some days you can see there's not very much, like on Wednesday, and then other days there's a lot, you know, depending on what is going on in the sky. It shows you when the moon is moving signs. So the moon's going into Sag at 11:12, which is why it's got it's got Scorpio and Sagittarius there, you know, to show that's happening. It also shows you when the moon's void, of course, as well. So a lot of information, but still plenty of room to write, which is really nice. And the days, look, so it's like Monday, Tuesday, obviously, but it's got them in different languages here, which is really nice. And it explains a little bit about that in the beginning. It's like making it more, less colonized, I suppose, and more accessible to different people. So again, different language. It also has the months in different languages as well. So yeah, this is more typical of what I expect from the Wee Moon, having more color like this. That's gorgeous imagery as well, isn't it? Yeah. So here we haven't got the little picture, we've got a little bit of writing. I love these for like taking out and just making, I use these a lot for collage because they're just little bits of words that fit so nicely into collage a lot of the time. Really lovely. Yeah. And so that was that first moon, and then we're into the second moon cycle. So the pattern repeats then. And you do get these pages as well, the year at a glance for the different signs. So they're in the part which matches up with your sign. So the year at a glance for Aquarius is here because it's the Aquarius moon cycle here now. So you get into that. So if you wanted to find yours, you have to look up the month of your birth, you know, to see what your year at a glance is. It's lovely, isn't it? Look at it, beautiful. Ebb and flow. So yeah, see, the year at the glance for Pisces is here because we're now in the Pisces moon cycle. Oh gosh. Yeah, this is why, like every year I say, oh, I'm not going to get the Wee Moon this year because, you know, it isn't my time zone. So I'm not using it for any practical purpose. The only reason that I have it, like I don't write anything on these date pages at all. The only reason why I get it is for the artwork, basically. And I do like reading the other stuff that is in it, but it's mainly the artwork. Because, and the poetry, you know, there's some gorgeous words in here as well. And yeah, it's lovely. So I'll quickly move through these because you can see that it is very similar. Well, not similar, but the format is similar, you know, very different in terms of what is actually included, but it is similar in the layout of it. So you can see what's going on. Very different, like different types of imagery as well, which I love. And that's what you get, isn't it? When you get different contributors bringing their own talent to a project, which is really lovely. And again, you know, they do calls for contributors to the Wee Moon, the same as they do to the Earth Pathways. So you can look out for that, and you can donate, you know, you can submit, not donate. Honestly, today my brain is not working properly. Oh. Yeah, you can submit work, and if your work does get chosen, I believe you do get a free copy of the diary. So, you know, that is, although it is very competitive, lots of people do send gorgeous stuff in. Although sometimes they choose, I think they choose blind. Like sometimes you'll find that the same contributor is in here a few times. But I don't think they look at who the contributor is. And I think that's the same for Earth Pathways actually as well. They kind of choose blind and then they let people know afterwards if your work has been chosen. That's a lovely image. Yeah. So different sorts of stuff, you know, sometimes poems, sometimes things you're working on. Okay, so this tells you a little bit about Wee Moon's evolution. So it should tell you. So it was originally planted as a seed in Europe, where it sprouted on women's lands in the early 1980s. Transplanted to Oregon in the late 80s, it flourished as a cottage industry on Wee Moon land near Portland in the 90s and early 2000s. The first Wee Moon was a handwritten pocket-sized women's diary, so no wonder I didn't find that then when when that first came out. Yeah, I'm trying to see where it says the first one, 1988 to 2008. Yeah, when was the first? No, I can't see it here. I'm just kind of trying to scan through it quickly. But I'm sure it does say in there when the first, like, kind of one that was an actual diary, not a handwritten one, you know, came out. But yeah, it's been going a really long time. This was like, these were pioneers of this kind of product, which is, you know, like now you can go on Amazon, you can get moon diaries, but they're not created in the same way. This is why I don't show those like Llewellyn planners and stuff on my channel, because you know you can find them anywhere, whereas these, even though Wee Moon is very well known and very popular now, it's still not like mainstream in a way. You know, these indie gorgeous publications are not mainstream in the same way, and so that is why I prefer to support these kinds of businesses, you know. Yes. Okay. Oh, Wee Moon Tarot. Yeah, so they've been talking about the Wee Moon Tarot, but I'm not sure when that is actually going to happen, because they're going to make the cards out of the artwork that they were using in the diary, which is going to be fun. So I'm probably going to have to get that, although I already not loving the fact that the cards are slightly different orientations. But yeah, it's going to be hard to say no to that. And then the staff, the ancestors, who are the people involved in creating it in the first place. And then here, look, again, lists and lists of people. Oh my gosh, lists and lists of people who have contributed, telling you, you know, from all over the world, mainly in the US, but also from the UK and in other parts of the world as well. Yeah, look, pages and pages. And look, some people, oh, Molly, look. Molly has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Which is really unusual. Like that doesn't normally happen. Like some people have 3, most people have 1, you know. It's, yeah. It tells you some errors and corrections from the previous year's diary. And then some about the sky. This is in here every year, and I love this diagram. It's a really gorgeous, just something about it. It's just lovely. I love it. And then a little bit about astrology basics, so that you can kind of use what is in here. I suspect most people who are using this will know a lot of this stuff, but it's handy to have it all here. And also the glyphs and things. I used to take this out and put that into my bullet journal because it's handy, and tells you about the signs, the moon transits, how they might affect us, which is something that is very close to my heart. And then the planetary influences, what they're about, the goddess planets, so the asteroids, and then an ephemeris. So yeah, you'll notice there wasn't an ephemeris at the back of here. Again, the Wee Moon is more astrology based than the Earth Pathways, but like, I don't need to use this anymore now because I got my honeycomb. Like, I'm glad that I can and that I know how to do it, but like I would not, and like to use it in ephemeris is not in my time zone as well. It's like, oh, you've then got to do the math again. So yeah, I don't use this. It's got the asteroid ephemeris as well. And then we've got this. So you can see where the phase of the moon, obviously. You can see where the moon's changing signs, which is handy as well. So it's basically like a month at a glance, a month at a glance. There. So December. And then look, I used to use this for my blood moon tracker, for my period tracker, so I would colour them in, the moon. So it's really handy to use for that. But it is basically just like a lunar phases at a glance, which is really cool, isn't it? You know, you can see the whole year, all the full moons of the year, all the new moons of the year. You know, it's really, you can see if your birth lunar phase is a certain, you know, it will be a certain phase, you can see where that is through the whole year, which is really handy. Conventional holidays, they just stick them in at the back. They're not included, I don't think, at all in the actual diary itself. No. And then the time zones, so it tells you how to calculate your time zones, which is helpful. 2024 at a glance. And then the last few pages are usually about the different products and things that are made by Mother Tongue Inc., who is the people behind the Wee Moon. Yeah, so they've got calendars, bags, greeting cards, and there will be the tarot coming soon. Submissions, and then we've got some notes pages here. And that is it. So, Wee Moon or Earth Pathways, let me know what you think. Do you think I'm crazy thinking of these sort of very kind of like across the ocean sisters, let's call it. Thank you so much for watching. Warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.